you right here on Twitch. So yeah, shout outs to you for being so awesome and for you being smart enough to be here today, because you could be doing a million other things, things that aren't helping you, things that aren't pushing you forward. And why would you want to do that? Of course, you'd rather be here talking to us live on Twitch and on Clubhouse. You know, we do this Mondays and Thursdays. Every Monday and Thursday, you and I join up on at 9 a.m. Pacific time, coming to you live from Las Vegas and showing you the best that the market has to offer. And that ultimately is a good thing, because you want to keep yourself in the know. You want to keep yourself definitely powerful when you enter the markets, whether it be the stock market, cryptocurrency, bonds, precious metals, whatever your flavor is. You want to be strong, because the stronger you are, the better you will perform in the markets. And that, of course, is a great thing, because your bottom line will be met. You can also watch us on YouTube, because you have a live stream on YouTube, a restream on YouTube, where you can check us out and just know what we're doing. So good morning to you. Hope you've had your coffee, breakfast, and this, that, and the third. Pocket square vibes going. The black pocket square on navy blue, so you can kind of see it. Just want to make sure that, yeah, you got that. Yes. Hi. Hello. Excited because for you, I have my new book out. That right there is just absolutely, for me, I mean, you know, did I ever think I'd write a book? I thought I might write a book one day. Yeah, sure, but it's just like something you see so far in the future. And the beauty of the last year that you've seen, because you've seen a lot of destruction, a lot of death. Unfortunately, you've seen a lot of people lose their jobs. You've seen people, mental illness has spiked in ways that you could never imagine prior to 2020. And there's been a lot of bad. However, you've seen a lot of good, where you've seen people come together in a way. You've seen people um, start new businesses. You've seen people start new careers. You've seen people start new relationships. You've seen people strengthen their relationships. You've seen people, you know, get back to God. You've seen people give more. You've seen a lot of good things come out of the last 12 months or so. And for me, I have you have this new book. You know, I'm speechless in a way, because it's fascinating, exciting, scary. I've never written a book before, and this is my first book, and it's up now for pre-sale on Amazon. So we're talking about that with you today, because I want to set you up for success in the markets. My students, because you know I teach this stock market stuff and cryptocurrency to my students, and I teach them because I want them to be successful. I want them to learn. I want them to know. I want them to grow. I want them to, you know, have everything that they need in order to perform well in the market. So this is my book for you: 10 ways for you to win the stock market, and ultimately setting you up for success. The pre-sale is up now. I'm going to post the link in, I'm going to post you the link for pre-sale right now in the chat here on Twitch, because I want you to not only pick up this book, I want you to read it. I want you to read it. I want you to learn from it. There's an amazing glossary of terms in there. So this book is made for beginners. If you have some success in the market already, that doesn't mean you can't read it. You definitely can read it still. So there's the link for you in the chat. We're live here with you on Clubhouse and live with you here on the big old Twitch. So I posted it in the Twitch chat for you, so you can take a look at that. The pre-sale is up now on Amazon, and it'll be out for sale for sure this Thursday. Everything's been approved. Again, very surreal when you see your book in the Amazon store, and that is, you know, just an amazing blessing. Did I ever think it would happen? Yeah, sure. I thought, yeah, one day in the future you might see a book from me, and you know, the fact that it's happened now is just. And again, you, my students out there, have inspired me to write it. I'm teaching the markets now, and when you're talking with people regularly about learning the stock market, you want to create some sort of shorthand for you, so you have just kind of this bullet pointed way of seeing exactly what you need in order to succeed. So you have a lot of gurus out there, you have a lot of teachers, you have a lot of professors, you have a lot of people who prognosticate about the markets, and you know they have great you know, they're interested in you learning is high, which is why they're teaching you, right? So that's a good thing. However, you have a lot of teachers out there who are really just teaching you just so you can buy something. So it's just like, yeah, all right, so I'm going to teach you so much, and then I'm going to hit you with something else. And I'm going to teach you so much, and then I'm going to hit you with something else to buy. And when I set up my course for you, I did it so you didn't have to learn anything else. My course, which is a 6 lesson course, and it's available now, yourbitcoinnow.com. You can check out the course, and yourstocksnow.com coming in a week. I set it up for you so that you can just be successful. And that's the same thing with this book. I give you tools in this book so you can go out and be successful in the markets. Now, of course, this is a book for beginners. So if you're brand new to the market, you've never invested before, are you able to buy this book and be able to perform well in the markets? Absolutely. Are you able to buy this book and know everything about the markets? No, because you're not going to know everything about the markets. Neither will I. Neither will anybody just from reading one book, right? But that said, I give you 10 ways for you to win the stock market. And it's a lesson for you beginners, people who want to get started in the markets but are kind of scared, people who you may have stocks already, or you may have cryptocurrency already, and you're kind of trying to figure out what the next move is. You know when to buy, but you don't necessarily know when to sell. All those things and more, I'm talking to you in the markets in this book. So pre-sale's up now. If you are in the Kindle Unlimited plan, you get this for free, which is amazing. So shout outs to Amazon for that. But the pre-order right now is up for you for $2.99. The price goes up to $4.99 this Thursday. So make sure you act now. Act now. Pick up the book. Pre-order right now with just one click. You can see on the screen right there. Just one click. One click is what it takes. Falling in love with me. Yeah. You just click there. Pre-order with one click. I think I could do this live with you right now. And there you go. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. And I've purchased my book. So that ultimately is for you. I want you to be successful in the markets, which is why I'm talking to you about this book. It's why I'm sharing this book with you. 10 ways for you to win the stock market. I want you to win. I want you to succeed. And ultimately, by you learning and investing in yourself and investing in your knowledge, that is exactly what will happen. So, yeah, I'm just talking to you about my book this morning. That's just, I'm super proud, super grateful, super thankful, and thank you for your support. This has been a journey for me. I started teaching the markets fairly recently. I've been in the markets for years. However, you didn't see me teaching because you saw me out there DJing around the world. You saw me DJing here in Las Vegas. You saw me DJing in New York. You saw me DJing in Ibiza. You saw me DJing in Dubai and everywhere in the world. And you see me now talking to you about the markets because the world shut down. So you see the world shut down, and back in October, I posted on my personal Facebook for you. If you're on my personal Facebook, a great time to know the markets because I had a $1,500 week. I wasn't even trying, to be honest with you. And I had all my friends hit me. I want to learn. Can you teach me? What do you know? Can you teach me? What do you know? I want to learn. It's just like, whoa, okay, well, I'll teach you how to win in the stock market. And, I just started by just teaching my friends little by little. And now I'm at a point where I'm teaching you guys out there who I don't even know personally, which is amazing. And we're launching websites for your education as well. And we're launching books for your education as well. So, of course, 10 ways for you to win the stock market. It is out now. Make sure you pick it up. Amazon pre-sale is up now. You can obviously search. Let's actually see about Googling this book. I want to make sure that all the SEO is correct for this book. I want to see how successful you can be just by Googling the book and finding it. Of course, you and I are live right now on Clubhouse, in addition to being live on the big old Twitch. Shout out to you on Twitch with us. By the way, if you're on Twitch regularly, I'm going to be DJing a few pop-ups on Twitch this week, which I'm super excited for. And of course, you know that I'm up all weekend with you on the big old Twitch. So let's take a look at Googling the book and see if you can find the book fairly simply. So here we're on Google. I don't know who a picture of that is, but well, let's take a look. Who is that? Zitkala Sa is a missionary. Okay. I guess she is I'm fairly interested as to who this person is and why Google would put her up. Oh, a Native American activist the 20th century. Yeah, we like that. Born in 1876. She's the co-founder of the National Council of American Indians. I like it. So Zikala Sa was born in the Dakota Territory, and yeah, so shout outs to her, doing big things since the 1800s. We like that. We know when you can make an impression upon the world where people are talking about you hundreds of years later, you've done good, especially as a woman back then, because back then women didn't have the rights you and I as men have today. So shout outs to you, girl power. All right, so let's look. 10 ways for you to win the stock market. 10 ways for you to win the stock market, for you to win the stock. This is all new, by the way. I've not done this before. 10 ways for you to win the stock market. Okay. So I'm not coming up on the first page. You and I have to work on that SEO to make sure that that is happening. 10 ways for you to win the stock market. Let's put Amazon in there. 100 ways to beat the stock market. Ooh, somebody usurped me with the book. How to make money in stocks. How to make money in stocks. A winning. So you and I are not on the front page for that. Okay, so let's look at Amazon, and we'll have a look at 10 ways for you to win. And look, this is a lesson in SEO. This is all new for me. I've not written a book before, like I told you before. I've not written an ebook at that, as I told you before. So 10 ways for you to win the stock market. Long title, but you know, we love you. Oh, boom, right there. I like it. I like it. First thing to come up. And look who I'm with. Oh, I got to screenshot that. I mean, I'm there with Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I mean, Think and Grow Rich. Come on. I mean, does it get any better than that? Can you tell me, does it get any better than that? I'm a proud dad right now. 10 ways for you to win the stock market is up now for your pre-sale purposes. You just saw me buy it here for you just with one click. One click is all it takes, and you can have the book. 10 ways for you to win the stock market. It's this book right here. Man, I'm super proud. Okay, Ooch book. Let's look. Ooch book. Ooh, on the front page. Yes, you just search Ooch book on Amazon, and I'm the fourth thing that comes up. I get beaten by Danielle Steele here, and Awkward Berry book. There's an Ooch notebook. I have no idea what that's about because that has nothing to do with me. And there's other things going on. So shout out to all the authors out there. If you're an author out there selling books, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the fact that you're actually out there trying and that you're actually out there educating, because ultimately that's what it's about. Yes, I pre-ordered this book. When did I pre-order this book? I pre-ordered this book right now in front of you. So yes, super excited. Exciting times. 10 ways for you to win the stock market. It is up now for pre-order. Please pre-order it today. I'm going to be talking with my friends and family about pre-ordering today. So you pre-order today so you can get this right to your Kindle, right to your e-reader immediately. And on Thursday, you'll have the full read. You'll be able to read it to your heart's content. And yeah, ultimately, that's a good thing because the more you learn, the more you earn. You know that because you're a smarty. I know you are. You're a smarty. So yeah, new book out now, and couldn't be prouder. Could not be prouder. Um, I want to talk about this book. To be honest, like that's all I want to do is talk about the book. But let's talk about the markets with you. We're going to go into the stock market a bit because that's what you and I talk about here. I've not looked at the markets yet this morning. Like I told you during our pre-show, I don't know if you heard me say this, but when you're on the phone till like 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning, it hampers your ability to look at the markets first thing in the morning, especially when the first thing you're doing in the morning is joining you on Twitch. So I was very intentional about not looking at the markets prior to talking with you. And that is where we're at. A lot of red in the markets today, as you can see just on the side of the screen, reading out a couple of tickers for you. These are some of my favorites in my watch list. So Square is down 1.5% today. Facebook down today, Alibaba down 3%, Adobe down 2%. Let's look at Baidu. Baidu is up today to 347. I'm getting killed in an options trade on Baidu. That right there has just been painful. If I mean, oof. I went short on Baidu, which was the wrong call, and I only did it because of greed. Something I teach you in my course not to do. Don't be greedy. So I was up on that trade. Well, I was initially down in that trade, and then I held it. I rolled the options contract forward 1 week, actually 2 weeks. So last week you saw Baidu dip below 300. That was my exit, and I got greedy. I said, well, I'm up 114 here, 150 here. I could make 250 on this. So let me hold and kind of see. It should retrace. It's overbought, yada yada yada, and now it's up to 347. So I'm getting cold cocked right now in that trade. I'm going to take a look and see how bad it is right now. Not great, especially when you're seeing the market overall red, and then the stock that you're short on is in the green. So shout outs to Baidu. That's a trade that I've been trading it a couple of times. Look, the S&P 500 is down, so that means my options trading the S&P. My call option is down, likely. Yeah, it's just been a tough one. Just been a tough one in the sense that um, Baidu, I think I've traded it like 3 times now. This is my third loser on it. So obviously, I'm not in sync with Baidu. There's Mace the dog. Let's see if Mace is a big dog. He's a pit bull. I don't know. Maybe you can see Mace. Mace, come on, Mace. I'm gonna show you the dog today. Just being transparent and vulnerable. Come on, Mace. He doesn't see space where you can get in here. Make some space for Mace. Space for Mace. Space. Whoop. I don't want to fall. That would be embarrassing. Come on, Mace. Hey, Mace got up here. All right, let's see if you can see Mace. Yay! You can see Mace this morning. So this is one of the dogs that lives here. There's 3 dogs here. This is Mace. He's a pit bull. And Mace's brothers and sisters is Alpha, who's a little poodle mix here, and also Skittles, who's a pug. So I wanted to keep the door open. I typically keep the door closed during the show because I don't want to be distracted. The dogs like to do dog things, and Mace definitely loves the bed, and Mace's not allowed on my bed. And he knows this, but he still jumps on the bed because he's a pit bull and he likes doing what he wants to do. And so for ultimately when it comes to today, I wanted to keep the door open because when you hear that constant barking, it's because they don't see a human. So Mace is not seeing a human. Skittles is not seeing a human. And thanks, Mace. I'm gonna peace out on you. Well, I'm gonna just keep talking to you right here. They don't see a human, so they get scared and they get lonely and they want to bark all day. They want to just bark, bark, bark because they're like, where's a human? Because let me tell you something, when I'm around or they see a human, one of my housemates, because I live here with a few amazing people, they just start bugging out. Like you could hear Alpha barking in the background. He's probably barking at nothing, but it just gives them permission to bark incessantly, and you don't want the barking incessantly. So I said, I'm gonna leave the door open today so you know the dogs don't feel alone. And that's my story with the dog. So shout out to Mace. And just on cue, he just heard his name, so now he's coming back, but he was just about to walk out. I love that. Love it. Papa Raka in the chat. What up, Papa Raka? Loving it today. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure to be here with you, my friend Papa Raka. I'm talking about the markets with you today. That Baidu trade kicking me in the butt once again. S&P 500 is down 21 points. The Dow is up 42, so things are a bit mixed. You got the NASDAQ down almost 2% today. So NASDAQ is down big today. You see it's 13,638. And there goes Mace barking. Can't win. Gold is up finally, 1811, which gold has been suffering as of late. I see GBTC is down big today. Grayscale down 6%. Not exactly sure why that is happening, but ultimately these things do happen. If you have any questions, just throw them in the chat right here on Twitch. You're live with us here on Twitch and of course on Clubhouse, and you have a restream on YouTube. My new book is out now, so make sure you pick that up. The pre-order link is in the chat here on Twitch, and I'm going to just post that link once again. Pick up that book. Set yourself up for success in the market. So there you go, Amazon. Boom. Having a look once again at the markets, you and I, and a lot of amazing things happening in the markets right now. So that is exciting times for sure. right now in the markets. Gold is up because gold has been down pretty, it needed to retrace. It's been overbought, highly overbought. And, ultimately, what goes up must come down. I always say that. So a lot of red in the cryptocurrency market. I'm seeing Bitcoin is down to 52,000. So Bitcoin was up quite a bit. It was up to, I think it got up to like 57,000. So it's down 8% today, which is a huge move down. And it's pulled down a lot of the cryptocurrency market with it. I see XRP though is up 5% today. I've talked with you about XRP here and just my dalliances with that one. Let's see. Binance is at 268 or 260 actually, 259. So, a couple of things happening in the cryptocurrency market, which is exciting. However, you're seeing Grayscale down 6% because Bitcoin is down 8% today. The Bitcoin chart, let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Exciting things happening with Bitcoin. It's just a powerhouse. Just a little scary seeing it up so much because, again, what goes up must come down, in the sense that when you go up like a rocket ship like that, you're going to come down like a rocket ship. There's a reason why you don't see rocket ships land like planes. It's because they go up like rocket ships. And planes land like planes because they go up like planes. So one goes up steady, one goes up straight up in the air. And you can do the math on that. So looking at this Bitcoin chart, obviously you see a resistance, Fibonacci resistance at 50,541. This thing is way overbought. I mean, you can see here on the RSI. And again, I teach you all this in my course, so make sure you take my course. By the way, the prices of the courses are going up this week, right? Or by the end of the month. So today's the 23rd, I believe, or 22nd. So do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. You're seeing us today on Monday, the 22nd of February, 2021. The prices of all the courses are going up at the end of the month. So get in now. yourbitcoinnow.com, yourbitcoinnow.com. Got discounts going on for you right now there. So do yourself a favor, take the course, learn something, and get yourself in there so you can set yourself up for success. The Bitcoin chart, again, 50K right there. I see a Fibonacci resistance. We're above that Fibonacci resistance. Obviously, you see the price is around 53,000. I teach you how to do all this in my course, by the way. As I said, RSI here is overbought. So this right here, when it's in the white, and you see it in the white, it means that it's due for a dip down. See it in the white on the bottom, that means it's due for a spike up. And yeah, I mean, when you see things this overbought, it's just uncomfortable and not my favorite to buy in those conditions. So this thing's eventually got to come down. Now, it might go up to 100 grand before it starts to consolidate. I teach about consolidation in my course as well, so make sure you pick up my course. You're going to see it go sideways eventually. You're going to see it come down because that's just the nature of markets and trading and technical analysis. You see things go up, you see things come back down to some degree, and then, that's what happens. So let's see here. Just want to make sure that we're good. It looks like Zoom, the big old Zoom. Are we on Zoom still? Are we on the Zoom still? Did my Zoom crash? Can you stop the share there? Oh, looks like we're live on Zoom. Hey. Yeah. I was doing a share there and I don't know. Screen like kind of just froze. We're live, as I told you. If you're watching us on the restream on YouTube, hola, ¿qué tal? Buenos días. Bienvenue. Merci beaucoup. Bonjour. There's the dog barking because that's what dogs like to do. I'm no longer frozen over here. So onward and upward we go. 53,000 you're seeing in the Bitcoin markets. And as the dog barks in the background, I say to you, Bitcoin, the big old Bitcoin, 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 doing amazing things. And it's exciting to see. It is exciting to see Bitcoin do this. However, you're going to eventually see it come down. Litecoin is down 11% today. Just a lot of things happening in the market. So that's why you're seeing Grayscale. So Grayscale GBTC might be saying, "Ooh, what are you talking about? Like, why did you go in that direction?" Well, GBTC is it's a trust. It's a Bitcoin trust. It's called Grayscale. It's a Grayscale Bitcoin trust, and they're whatever happens in Bitcoin that you see, the price kind of hovers along with it. So it'll move in the same or similar direction. And that's essentially what you're seeing. So yeah, GBTC is down today because you're seeing Bitcoin down today. It's down to 52,000. It was around 57,000. Actually, I don't have to say if it was around. I could just look here and know it hit a high of 58,367, so nearly 60,000. There is no Fibonacci resistance above 50,000 up until 69,000. So Bitcoin is trying to break through that price. I mean, at this point, I'm just waiting for the Bitcoin price to come down. Will it go down to zero? Probably not. But you're going to see it eventually come down. And that's when I'll be buying. When everybody starts crying, then you'll see me buying. And until then, I'm just going to kind of look for other opportunities, including golds. I should pick up some gold today, some gold stocks. I'm big on gold stocks. I think that I'm bullish on gold with all the money printing that you've seen. I'm doing really well today in the markets. It looks like I'm up 137 today in the markets. And that's without even trying, folks. I mean, I wake up to just money, 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 money. And I can teach you this in my course. Yourbitcoinnow.com is my course. Looks like the gap is up big today. It's been waiting for a breakout, which is good. I'm big on the gap. You know that you might not know, but if you didn't know, Kanye West did a deal with the Gap, and that Gap deal is in order for the Yeezy brand. So Kanye West has the Yeezy brand. So that Gap deal is for him to put his Yeezy brand into shops for the Gap. Yep. And I teach you how to identify these types of stocks and these types of investments and opportunities. I teach you how to do that in my course. So join my course, yourbitcoinnow.com. So yeah, that's what's happening in the markets right now. I want to look at a few more stocks. So just looking at the overall market, looks like PayPal's down today. I have to call PayPal actually. They're holding up a payment to one of my employees, and I don't like that. eBay down today. So it's kind of a mixed market. There's nothing up big to old too big. Planet Fitness actually is up 5%. I actually like the Planet Fitness play right now because you see that the world is starting to open up, right? There was a huge retracement, as you can see here. That was back in March of 2020. It went down to $23. So Planet Fitness, obviously, you've seen it be affected by these closures and the shutdowns nationwide in America. And that is because if you can't work out in the gym, and Planet Fitness is a gym company, guess what? You're closed for business and you can't do what you said you do, right? So what I've got going on here is a Fibonacci. I'm just stretching out a bit and I'm looking at the health of this stock. So you saw it go, I mean, in March of 2020, it hit a high, its all-time high actually. Is that March or February? Actually, in February 2020, high of 88.77. Retraced that move down and went hit 23.77. Wow. You saw it go down, down, down to the ground, and it's come up since. So now you're seeing the price at 82.43. And let's see, looking at the RSI, it's definitely in clear sailing to break out from here. And I like this play. I like first off, I like how bullish this chart looks. It obviously was exponentially growing through 2016. You see it going through 2019, and it was just up to the moon. And then had a rocky road in late 2019, and horrible 2020 to start out, and then it eventually came back. And now you're seeing it near all-time highs once again. So that part, the near all-time highs part, definitely is a little scary for me. It's a bit scary for me. But I do like the play in the sense that you're seeing it, make a move, right? And it's bullish overall. And ultimately, what you're also seeing that I really like in terms of that stock is you're seeing it, you're seeing the fundamentals play out in a way, globally, what you're seeing is more openings. That is the story that you're seeing in the news, is the story that you're seeing out there. You have people getting the vaccine. You may have the vaccine. I have a business trip to go on. Actually, I'm going on another one of these seminar things. I call them business trips because ultimately they're super beneficial for my business, as you know. I've explained that to you before. and they're saying that you need a COVID test within 72 hours because the thing is in California. So you need a COVID test basically saying you don't have COVID. And or you can also have proof that you've taken the vaccine. And you know what I thought when I read that? I was just like, you know what? Maybe I'll just go get the vaccine so you don't have to worry about where you're traveling anymore. Now you can just say, oh, I have the vaccine, and people will leave you alone because you have certain states, you have certain things that you want to do that requires you to have a rapid COVID test. So, for example, when you go to certain states, you have to quarantine for 14 days when you enter. And the whole idea is you're trying to stop the spread of the coronavirus because you don't know if you have the coronavirus. And it takes 14 days for them to know whether, not that whether you have it or not, but if you have it, you know, your symptoms are not prevalent. And when your symptoms are not prevalent, you can't infect other people, so on and so forth. And that. So if you have the vaccine, that doesn't mean you can't get the coronavirus. It doesn't mean you can't get COVID. However, you can put yourself in a position to say, here's my paper. Here you go. Here, proof. Here's proof right here. Don't have it. I don't have it because I have the vaccine, which isn't 100% accurate or true. That, but you know, they're taking it as proof. They're saying, okay, you got the vaccine. Cool, perfect, thanks. And it just makes me say, well, I'll just get the vaccine. And I know that if you're anti-vaxxer out there, everything I'm telling you right now is like nails on a chalkboard. You're like, what are you saying? You're getting the vaccine. You don't know what's in it. It's new. You know, you don't know. Everything you're saying is accurate in that respect. Now, you just have to weigh the risk and the reward. And the reward here is you can move around freely, right? You can move around the way that you want to move around. You can do what you want to do when you want to do it in terms of getting around because you have a vaccine. You're probably going to see certain countries, particularly the EU, when that reopens, say, hey, you can't travel here from the US unless you have a vaccine or you have that 72-hour notice of proof that you don't have COVID, like you've done a rapid test within the last 72 hours. Those rapid tests are not free, folks. So you're paying for it one way or another. You have 40 million people who've gotten the vaccine. And I mean, 10 years from now, you could see people say, oh, well, all those people who got the vaccine at first, they're growing a third ear out of their forehead. And you're seeing that happen because they took the vaccine 10 years ago. If I grow an ear out of my forehead, I'll just be able to hear better. So ultimately, it doesn't really, I think I'm just gonna get the vaccine. Now, here in Nevada, you can't get the vaccine unless you're 65 or older, at least from where you look. And I don't like talking in absolutes because you always have acceptances or exceptions. And when you look, it says 65 or older, 65 or older, 65 or older. So at this point, I think you'll see me look for vaccines in California and see what you can cook up because apparently you can go to Dodger Stadium, you can go to places that are, you know, long lines, yes, but you can go get your vaccine and just be done with it already. Like, I'm over all of this, you know, it's yielded amazing results like my book that you're seeing right now on the screen. But that said, you know, at this point, I'm just like, you know, like life, I'm ready for life to move on. I had COVID-19 in July of 2020. So I feel like I'm good anyway. Like it's been in my system. My system has developed. Well, obviously you get the antibodies when you have COVID, right? So my system has developed in a way where, you know, I believe I'm good, and I'm just gonna put it in God's hands. So if it's not meant for me to get the vaccine, then I won't get it. And if it is meant for me to get the vaccine, then I will get it. You're gonna look into options and see what you can cook up. I say all that to you because Planet Fitness is a play in the market that I think you can see do well because with people getting the vaccine and with people just looking to get out of the house, it's been a year of doing all this. Planet Fitness definitely has a run up that you might see beyond this. Now, it just depends on how well their numbers are holding up overall. I'm not looking into their fundamentals that deep, but fundamentally, what you're seeing around the world is the reopening story and the reopening play. So you saw people buying that dip in here, people were buying Planet Fitness when gyms were closed. You saw it spike up actually. Let's see, there's a big upper wick there. June 2020, you saw it go up to $80.60. So if you bought it then, you're having your day in the sun today because it's up to 82.83. Obviously, it came down, following went down to 51.70. And now you're seeing it where it's at. So I kind of like that play. I'm actually a user of Planet Fitness. So if you attend Planet Fitness, and I know for some of you, gym rats or gym nerds, again, nails on chalkboard. Planet Fitness, it's terrible there. Don't they give you Tootsie Rolls and pizza nights and horrible? Yeah, I get it. All that said, I like Planet Fitness because it's cheap. They're nationwide here in the US. So no matter where I'm traveling in the United States, I know that there's a Planet Fitness around somewhere for the most part, especially in major market cities. So it's just the convenience factor. I started with them not to be a bodybuilder. I started with them to get in shape, and that was back in 2013. So you have an 8-year history with them. So you just kind of, just keep going with it. You stick with it. So now, I'm obviously in better shape now, and people look at me in the gym. They don't look at me like the beanpole that I was when you walk in once upon a time in 2013. Now, when you see me, you're like, oh, you look like you know what you're doing. Can you help me with this? You look like you know what you're doing. How do you do this? How do you do that? Which is nice. I like it. You still have obviously many, many newbies and beginners there because that's their business model. They want to talk to you as a newbie or beginner, someone who doesn't feel comfortable maybe in your typical gym. And ultimately, that's what they're doing. They're catering to that audience. And that audience is going to be ready, I feel, perhaps ready to re enter the world through um, getting off of their butt and getting some workout in. Yeah. And with everything reopening, you're going to see possibly an upside there. So, yeah, the reopen play works well to Planet Fitness's favor, and very bullish. You're seeing it right now, so it might be a good play for the long term. What is this? American Express is up 3% today. Looking at Capital One up 2.5% today. Those are some of my old favorites. I had those prior to dumping my stocks at the end of 2019. I have a couple of things now. DraftKings. DraftKings is one of my pickups as well. And let's see how DraftKings is doing. It had a bit of a retracement last month. A nice little dip. A nice little dip. I put my hand up on your hip. When you dip, I dip, we dip. You put your hand up on my hip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. You see DraftKings is at all-time highs. Whoa. 64.78 is where DraftKings is gone. So yeah, is it overbought? It's nearing overbought. I like the DraftKings play because you see everybody, looking to, what is that? Into gambling. People love their gambling. So yeah, that's why I'm into DraftKings. So it looks like DraftKings is doing well. It retraced down to $44 last month, January. What you're finding in the stock market these days is some of these dips that happen, they're very quick. You saw that short dip in Baidu last week. It lasted all of a day. And now it's up, gosh, it's up 16% from where it was at in less than a week. There's people who don't get 16% in a year through their 401k for sure, or through mutual funds, or even real estate. So 16% in a week, folks. Man, that's something. Peloton. Let's look at Peloton because that's a stay-at-home play that a lot of people have really been up on. 2020, obviously amazing for Peloton. It was at a low of 1770 in March 2020, and now you're seeing it at 129.58. Amazing what's happening with Peloton right now. And that's, again, another stay-at-home play. So when you see things come back, meaning you see the world reopen to a large degree, will you see Peloton to be strong? That is the question for companies like Peloton and a lot of these stay-at-home stocks, they call them. They had their day in the sun in 2020 for sure. And now that the world is reopening, yes, slowly you're seeing it reopen. Will they be strong? Now, you have friends of mine who are saying things like, well, I'm never going out again, meaning like going out to a nightclub or something like that doesn't appeal to them anymore. They're also older, they're middle aged, so to speak. So the going out thing is not really that, it's not their target. They're not the target demo for going out on a regular basis like a 20-year-old or 25-year-old is, right? So you do have people who feel like their life has changed drastically for this. I know that you and I are live on Twitch right now, as we're live on the Clubhouse and restreaming on YouTube. So the Twitch platform is new for me. And once all this hullabaloo is done and you and I get to go outside again without masks and whatnot, I definitely see myself staying on Twitch and still streaming and still live streaming. I love the platform. You love the platform, which is why you're on it watching with us right now. Get in the chat right now. If you are a subscriber here, by the way, I will give you Bitcoin. I will literally give you Bitcoin just for being a subscriber. So shout us out in the chat right now to let us know that you're alive and that you're here with us. So yeah, so, ultimately, when it comes to Twitch, I love it. Now, I wasn't on Twitch prior to all of this happening, and the idea of DJing on Twitch definitely was not something that was in my purview. DJing on online, excuse me, DJing in a live stream for you was something that was like, do you want to do that? I prefer being in front of people. Not really my thing. I don't want to create a whole home setup and lighting and all of this. Well, you have 2020 happen, and guess what you do? You get on Twitch to do some live streaming. And what do you do when you do that? You realize, hey, this platform isn't too bad. Like, I kind of like this. I kind of like the the chat. I like the interaction. I love everything that you got going on here. I love the emotes. There's a lot of things on Twitch that I like. I like the pay structure, and when you have all those things to the upside, you're like, well, yeah, I really like this thing. So when you see everything reopen, it's like, yeah, I'm cool with everything reopening, obviously, because I want to get back out there in the world. But I definitely love Twitch, and I definitely want to ride this till the wheels fall off, in the sense that I can DJ for you from home, from my home studio, and perform for you, and for you to be happy and to feel like there's an interactive experience. For you, does it replace being outside and being around people, like actually talking to somebody face to face, not being, them not wearing a mask and you not being in fear of losing your life? Um, doesn't replace that, right? Because if you can remember, imagine a time far, far away. Imagine 2019. Yes, stay with me here. Do you remember? Close your eyes and just think. Do you remember going outside and seeing no masks? Do you remember shaking hands with strangers? Do you remember uh, sanitizing your hands, maybe just after using the toilet? You get what I'm saying? Kind of went off the rails there in that imagination. But you do remember a time. If you watch old movies, like movies that were made prior to 2020, you see things like, I was watching a film the other day, and they were in a hospital. They walk in a hospital and no masks. So you see them all in this hospital with no masks, and I was freaked out. I was like, ugh, like it gave me anxiety. Now I know it's an old movie. You know it's an old movie, but ultimately it's like the cat's out of the bag, in the sense that you've had this long year where the world has shifted, so much so that the social norms are so different. So yeah, I think going back to being outside will be a lot of fun. But I say everything I've just said to you to illustrate that I think you've crossed the threshold where things are going to stay different to a large degree for generations. And because this was a PTSD is a thing, right? This has been a traumatic experience for many people. You've seen a lot of good come out of it. You've seen, of course, a lot of bad come out of it. Companies fail left to right. Family-owned businesses that have been in for generations disappear. You've seen people go homeless. You've seen people, have to live in their cars. You've seen people die in the hospital. You've seen just insanely bad things for all this COVID stuff, and ultimately, you have people who want to get back to normal, quote unquote. But with all the traumatic things that you've seen happen, you're gonna see people just kind of stay in this box where they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not DJing outside anymore. Like, I'm not DJing in a club. I don't want to be around people. I just want to DJ on Twitch, stay home and make money, and with my subs and entertain you at home, and and that's that. Or you on your phone, right? Wherever you're at in the world, you have that interactive experience. It's not doesn't replace the live setting that you had before. Um, so that's the question. The question is, which way does it go? I do feel like you're going to have some changes that are going to be permanent, but will you see it benefit companies like a Peloton? Because it's all about working out at home. I think Zoom is here to stay in the sense that it's just convenient and you can talk to people from all around the world. I have a new student I'm talking with right after I talked with you this morning. So shout outs to all my students out there. Again, yourbitcoinnow.com, yourbitcoinnow.com. You can join us on yourbitcoinnow.com and you can join my course. I'm actually going to put that into the chat here on Twitch, yourbitcoinnow.com. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Whoops, yourbitcoinnow.com. There you go. You get that, and you get the knowledge that you need to perform well in the markets. Join a course. So I have a student coming up after this, and that student is in Alaska. She's in Alaska, folks. So if you and I were to meet for a course and you were in Alaska and I was in Nevada, it would be pretty hard to get to you. That'll be quite a commute. So the fact that you and I are able to do this on Zoom is a big thing. One of my other students, she's in Amsterdam. Yes, and I teach her while she stays in her place in Amsterdam, and I stay here in my home studio here in Las Vegas. I have another student in Spain. I have students in New York. In fact, right now, as I think with you, I think I only have a handful of students that are here in Las Vegas. That, yes, if you want to meet one on one, you can do that in person. However, most of my students, they're not anywhere near me physically. So Zoom, I think, is here to stay just because of that. Let's take a look at the Zoom stocks. Zoom, we'll take a look at Zoom on here and see how well Zoom is doing. Because I know it's doing insanely at one point. Chegg, that's one that my brother told me about real quick. That's for teaching online. He told me about it last summer, and I think it was around there about 66. So it's had its day in the sun too. 104 it's at now, so that's doing really well. Let's see, where is Zoom at? I always have, well, not always, but it's funny, like some of these stocks, I want to just go to it real quick, and it can be tough. GameStop is up 8% today to 44. I mean, if you held that stock, GameStop, and you're like you got stuck with the bag, I could have told you here that that was not the move. So make sure you watch us on a regular basis so you can set yourself up for success. Don't make silly moves in the market. Take my course. There's Zoom right there. Take my course. Educate yourself. Get yourself, set yourself up for success. So Zoom hit an all-time high back in October of last year, 588, and now it's down to 399. It was way overbought, as you can see here on the chart. This right here means overbought. I teach you that in my course. And now it's come down to the 12-day moving average, which is good to see, right? It had like a nice little retracement. I want to fix this Fibonacci to include that. Boom. Yeah, I like it. Including that upper wick there because that represents price action. Again, I teach you this in my course, yourbitcoinnow.com. So there's a 387 you see here, 387.58. There is a Fibonacci support and resistance there. So that is a key level. We're at 399 now. I think Zoom has legs for the long term. I really do, for sure. As long as they can stay proactive, relevant, if you see them stay, just in the fold, like they're constantly improving their platform, then I think you'll see them continue to do well because I'm talking to you via Zoom. So, and I use the product just out of it's a utility. It's I wouldn't even call it a luxury at this point. At one point it was a luxury. In fact, when you had me originally get on Zoom, it was and have an official account, it was to DJ on Zoom. So I was DJing on Zoom privately for friends that I know from high school and just, some of my personal friends playing old school tunes. And this was before I was on Twitch. So I was doing it on Zoom and I loved playing on Zoom because it was interactive. You could see everybody, you could see people dancing and whatnot. That's the one thing about Twitch that I kind of wish you could see everybody, like via video and stuff, but then it would be a completely different platform. But yeah, so Zoom was really good for that. And I realized, okay, well, I need a pro account in order to DJ for hours. Because if you have a basic account, you can be on there for 45 minutes presenting. And I didn't want to constantly stop the stream because I was, using it for free. So that's why I got it. Teaching came along, a couple months after that, because that was back in May of 2020 where you saw me do that. And after that, in October, once I started teaching, it was like, oh, okay, well, let's do a Zoom. And that brought us to here now, where I'm talking to you on Twitch about 10 ways for you to win the stock market, my new book. Amazing to see the journey and to see where everything has gone, because ultimately, I didn't think that this was happening this year. 10 Ways for You to Win the Stock Market is out now. The new ebook is out for you now for pre-order. I put a link in the chat. I'll put another link in the chat. Let me just copy and paste that. Boom. Yes. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Here's the pre-order. Pre-order now. Pre-order now. Putting it for you in the, oh, wow. That didn't do what I wanted to do. I tried to copy it from the chat, and it gave me like some weird commands. So we have the link now. There you go. Link into the chat for you here on Twitch. And by the way, if you're watching on YouTube on the restream, hello, great to have you here. If you're watching on the restream, I got you to. The link is in the description of this video. So check us out. You can check us out. 10 ways for you to win the stock market. You can set yourself up for success. So pre-order my book right now. It's my first book, and this is my debut as an author. I'm a published author. Yes. My English minor from college coming in the clutch. I love it. It's been a pleasure being here with you today. I have a student in 7 minutes, so I'm going to end a little bit earlier than I normally do. We'll talk for a few more minutes. So my new book is out now, 10 Ways for You to Win the Stock Market. I'm talking with you about the book today because it's a book that will set you up for success, period. Period. If you want to be successful in the markets, buy my book. It will help you. There's a glossary of terms in there that I created for you so that you, the beginner, or you, someone who doesn't exactly understand terms and so on and so forth, I set you up for success. There's a glossary of terms in there, so when I go through the book, I'm talking to you like I'm teaching you, but I'm using terms that you might not know, you might not understand, they might be new to you. And I set you up for success because I put a glossary at the end. So if you're like, what does that word mean? What does that word mean? And you can just go so on and so forth, just scroll into the end of the book where the glossary is at. I really loved what came together in this book for you, and I'm super proud. Proud Papa today. 10 Ways for You to Win the Stock Market, a lesson for beginners. And it is an ebook that you can pick up right now for pre-order. The link is it for you in the chat right now. Also, you can see the link in the description here on YouTube if you're watching this here on YouTube for the re-stream. Super proud, and gosh, there's just so much in there for you. It's some of my students actually inspired me to create this book. And that's because when you're teaching and you're teaching and you're teaching, you're like, I want to create a shorthand for my students. Actually, what I wanted to do was create an ebook for the launch of my website, or one of the websites that we're launching, yourstocksnow.com. That'll be up next week. We're working on it right now. If you've ever worked on a website, you know it's like building a house. So it's like, at this point, the foundation is definitely there, which is amazing. My foreman working on it for me is an interesting character, definitely talented, but works at his own pace. I'll say that. But yeah, at this point now, we're just doing the cosmetics on it. There's no real infrastructure plays that you're seeing right now in the website, and I look forward to launching it for you next week. My book will be available on there too, and I wanted to have a book for you available on my website that I can give to you, just to provide value to you just for coming to the website. So that is something that that we're doing. I'm going to have you have a version of this book, which I'm super excited about. However, you can get the full book for pre-order right now Act now. Yes, 10 ways for you to win the stock market lesson for beginners. If you've bought it in the pre-order, get in the chat and say that you have. I want to shout you out and make sure that you are taken care of. Make sure that you are loved and known, that I'm here for you, and that everything is all good, all good, all good, all good. 10 ways for you to win the stock market. I'm super, super excited and super grateful and super thankful for this opportunity, be able to become a published author and to share with you my knowledge in the markets. It doesn't get to just stay here. Now I can share it with you. Amazing. Super, super grateful. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you for doing that. And, if you're thinking, you seem a little different today, I'm just like grateful. Like, published author, like I'm talking to you about my book. It's just amazing. I couldn't have pictured. If you told me a year ago, Ooch, you're going to end up teaching the markets, you're going to end up streaming on Twitch as a DJ and as an educator, and you're going to write a book, I'd be like, I'm going to do all that in 1 year. Not that I don't believe in myself, but yeah, it's just been amazing. And on the music front, things are going amazing too. But talking to you about my book, it's out now. Make sure you pick it up. Thank you so much for being here. And we'll see you on Thursday. I'm doing some pop-ups here on Twitch too. So I'm DJing a few pop-ups starting tomorrow. So Tuesday and Wednesday, gonna be DJing some pop-ups. I might do a pop-up Thursday. I might do a pop-up today. You never know. Got a lot going on today, but I want to make some time for you, and that's why I'm talking with you right now. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being with us here on Clubhouse, listening in. We do this every Monday and every Thursday live from 9 a.m. Pacific time, coming to you live from Las Vegas. Thank you so much for being here. God bless and take care. Pick up the book right now, 10 Ways for You to Win the Stock Market. Set yourself up for success. It's a book that will help you because you will learn some stuff. And the more you learn, the more you earn. God bless, and I'll see you soon.